I made some mistakes.
So this dude is a fucking liar. I made mistakes, but I'm gonna continue lying about it. Tulsi Gabbard utterly destroys fucking liar by the name of George Santos. And boy, it is a doozy. Meanwhile, Jimmy Dore and Nick from Revolutionary Blackout Network explain exactly why MLK holiday pisses off black men. Especially when the most anti-black politician in recent history, Joe Biden, who got the ball rolling on locking up black and brown people disproportionately, is talking about that holiday, trying to act like he has any respect. What's up, guys? It's Zach the Celtics guy here, back with another video, and yes, we got a couple topics to discuss in this video, so why don't I just get into the big one, the elephant in the room here. George Santos was on Tucker Carlson tonight, which was hosted by Tulsi Gabbard. Now, again, I don't agree with them on everything. I definitely have my disagreements with them. And the only reason I'm citing this video is just because of the fact that it was so great to see this neocon piece of shit get called out. It was hilarious to see. And Tulsi Gabbard utterly grilled him on this. And, I mean, hey, you know, Tulsi Gabbard definitely has some disagreeable positions. I've covered them on numerous occasions, but on this, she definitely deserves credit for this, that's for sure.
And I own up to them. And now I want to put this past me so I can deliver for the American people.
The thing is, Congressman-elect, integrity means, yes, carrying yourself with honor, but it means telling the truth. Being a person of integrity. And if I were one of those in New York's 3rd District right now that the election is over, and I'm finding out all of these lies that you've told, not just one little lie or one little embellishment, these are blatant lies. My question is, do you have no shame? Do you have no shame in the people who are now you're asking to trust you to go and be their voice for them, their families, and their kids in Washington?
Tulsi, I can say the same thing about the Democrats and the party. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden's been lying to the American people for 40 years. He's the president of the United States.
Okay, that might be true, but that doesn't answer the question. You're doing the exact same thing that he's doing. And I think my comrades and I can agree on this. Neocons like you, George Santos, are no different than neoliberals like Joe Biden. Which, by the way, that leads me to my next point. Joe Biden being the most anti-black politician in the history of this country, at least as far as the Democrats go. So people can say what they will about Trump and everything and about him being a racist and him being this. Yeah, okay, trust me, I have all the disagreements in the world with Trump. I fucking hate him. I also think he's a bigot as well, 100%. But is Joe Biden any less of a bigot when he got the ball rolling on mass incarceration of black and brown people for non-violent drug offenses? And you support the same thing. And by the way, this motherfucker looks kind of like, he looks like a semi-watered-down version of Marco Rubio. Like, legit. He seriously looks like Marco Rubio with a fucking tan. Like, Tulsi, I swear I made mistakes, but... And he's like sitting there like this, like, I made mistakes, you know, I did, but I'm not going to admit that I lied, even though I did sort of lie, I sort of, you know, and then he has fucking word salad. He basically had word salad in this whole entire thing. Like, it was like word salad with a side of Thousand Island dressing. No, it was even better. It's word salad with fucking bullshit dressing. It's word salad with bullshit dressing. That's what this whole thing is.
Democrats resoundingly support him. Do they have no shame? I've made this very clear.
This is not about...
Yeah, well, they also supported George W. Bush when he tortured innocent people, massacred 200,000 civilians. They were also with Trump when he bombed Syria not once but twice. They supported Trump with the coup in Bolivia in 2019. They supported assassinating the fucking Iranian general, wanted to assassinate Kim Jong-un in North Korea. I mean, need I go on? But then luckily he paved the way for peace with North Korea, thankfully. But of course, you know, still a warmonger, no different, just like all of them. But you're doing the same thing for your side. So how are you any different? Like I said, neocons and neoliberals are no different than each other on policy. And that's 100% what it is. Nobody can tell me otherwise.
Democratic Party, though, this is about your
No, I understand.
relationship, frankly, with the people who've entrusted you to go and fight for them. And I think one of the questions that really probably hits home to a lot of people is are you Jewish? We've got a letter that your campaign sent out earlier this year, which reads as follows. As a proud American Jew, I've been to Israel numerous times for educational, business, and leisurely trips. You said there in that letter that you were, quote, a proud American Jew. How do you explain that?
My heritage is Jewish. I've always identified as Jewish. I was raised a practicing Catholic. I think I've gone through this. Even I've not being raised a practicing Jew, I've always joked with friends and circles, even with in the campaign.
He's such a fucking lying sleazeball. He's trying to sit there and he's trying to bring this into it. Like he's just trying to divert the conversation. He's just trying to divert it. Like, oh, look at me. Look how proud I am. Oh yeah, guess what? I know many Jewish people that probably would fucking hate your dumbass because you're such a goddamn liar. And when you got someone on Fox News calling you out, then you know that you have lost the plot completely.
I say, guys, I'm Jew-ish. Remember, I was raised Catholic. So, look, I understand everybody wants...
What's with the ish part?
...to nitpick at me. I'm going to reassure this...
Like, what's with the ish part?
I'm not a facade. I'm not a persona. I have an extensive career that I work really hard to achieve. And I'm going to deliver from my experience because I remain committed in delivering results for the American people. I campaigned on inflation. I campaigned on crime.
Like your idea would be tax cuts for the rich and more fucking capitalist policies for your fucking oligarchic friends. It's like, what's with you and the ish? It's like, we got a dish. It's like, we got a dish. I'm going to talk about all my issues on Dish Network because, yeah. What the fuck is he talking about?
I campaigned on education. I campaigned on delivering results.
We don't know. The answer is we don't know. It's where she stops and where George Santos's lies stop. Nobody knows.
All for the American people. That's what the people of the 3rd Congressional District heard me on and on as I campaigned. Now it's going to be incumbent upon me to deliver on those results, and I look forward to serving my district. I look forward to serving my people in my district.
They don't.
To make sure that they see that this is what
looking for.
The people in that 3rd district definitely don't.
The results that people are looking for are called into question when you tell blatant lies, not embellishments. And this is I think one of the biggest concerns, Congressman-elect, is that you don't really seem to be taking this seriously. You've apologized, you said you've made mistakes, but you've outright lied. A lie is not an embellishment on a resume. You said you worked at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, but they've said, we've got no record of this guy working for us. You've said you've gone to and graduated from these universities.
Sorry, I was just adjusting my shirt.
They've said, well, we've got no record of that. These are blatant lies. And
that was absolutely hilarious. No, Tulsi Gabbard did a great job on that. And like I said, there's positions that I think she has that are absolutely ridiculous. Like when she gets into the whole culture war nonsense and whatnot and talk about the woke this, woke that. Like that's just typical fucking neocon talk. Completely disagree with it. But credit to where credit is due for Tulsi Gabbard for fucking eviscerating this complete and utter clown. So yeah, props to her for that, and link in the description to that video, because yeah, it was definitely a great video. I would say the only Fox News video that I think I would ever give a thumbs up to, I would have to say, only because it has Tulsi Gabbard, who makes some sense on certain issues, some I stress, and she did good on this. She really did. She knew what she was talking about. She came prepared, and this guy, well, didn't, because he's a liar, because he's a complete and utter fucking lying piece of shit, and he's also a hypocrite, and he's a neocon, just like the rest of them. His half brother, twin Marco Rubio, who's a fucking lying, bloodthirsty warmonger, a homophobic bigot, and a war criminal and a hypocrite, sitting there and talking about how, when Cuba and Venezuela violate human rights, that's bad. Those big, evil, bad socialist, communist nations are bad and evil for violating human rights. But meanwhile, I don't believe gays should be protected from discrimination. They don't have a right to marry, and completely against gay rights. Oh no, gay rights, it's okay. As long as I violate them, it's totally okay. So yeah, stay classy. So meanwhile, Nick Cruse from Revolutionary Blackout Network, which I highly recommend, was on Jimmy Dore's show to talk about why Martin Luther King holiday pisses off black men. Well, the reason it pisses off black men is because look what happened to Martin Luther King. Spoke the truth on the matters, spoke out against the Vietnam War. He ended up getting assassinated. And then there's proof that he was actually, that the guy who killed him, who actually did kill him, might not have been who you thought he was. Would have been someone that was paid by the CIA. And even Martin Luther King's family doesn't even believe the whole story that James Earl Ray killed him, because when they interviewed him in prison, they didn't even believe it. They didn't even believe that he even killed him. It was somebody that was, underneath the waterworks. And, oh, I know, that makes me a conspiracy theorist, and it makes me a dunce head. Blah, 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 blah. I know. It makes me a complete and utter dunce head for saying that. Dude. But, yeah, no. No, I think Nick knows what he's talking about on this. Like I said, I don't agree with RBN on everything. I definitely have my disagreements with them too. But at least he's honest. And Jimmy Dore, I'm one of his biggest fans. And yes, take it away, guys.
What's poppin', my friends, my family? I'm glad you invited me on today, because this MLK stuff that comes from the warmongering liberals, it drives me crazy. You got Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe, one of the most anti-black politicians in the modern era, tweeting about MLK. This ain't always drive me crazy, Jimmy. So it always does.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, how does a black guy actually feel about all the bullshit that the establishment says about Martin Luther King, the same establishment that betrayed him, killed him, and turned on him when he decided to talk against the Vietnam War. So when he became an anti-war spokesperson, that's when the Democrats turned on, everybody turned on him, right?
Yeah, and it drives me crazy. I had to log off. I can't stand the virtue signaling that comes from liberals and Democrats. Jim Crow Joe.
Yep, Jim Crow Joe, 100%. Jim Crow Joe, the same guy that has used racist terms to describe black people. Oh, he believed in segregation of black people. By the way, his VP, Kamala Harris, believed in segregation in her districts when she got people locked up for marijuana when she was Attorney General in California. She completely did that, okay? So, oh my God, yeah, she was Attorney General. Well, guess what? People can say what they will about Maura Healey here in Massachusetts, but last time I checked, she definitely has her problems too, and I got my disagreements with her. But when was the last time that Maura Healey got black and brown people locked up for marijuana and nonviolent drug offenses? Never. That's right, never. So, which Attorney General do you think that we like more? I'd go with her. Not saying I'm supporting her or any Democrats or nothing, but I'm just saying if you had to pick and choose, it's like
Joe, the Democratic Party. You have people who support sending weapons to Nazis in Ukraine, eulogizing MLK when he stood against militarism.
Yep, they're going to talk about MLK. Meanwhile, the president, Joe Biden, believed in locking up black and brown people for years and years and years, which is still happening today. The U.S. is the world's biggest fucking penal colony, mostly of black people. But, oh no, that's completely right. But meanwhile, we're going to send weapons over to Ukraine that is going to fucking neo-Nazis. You know, the same guys that hate black people and hate people of a different color. But, oh, meanwhile, we're going to talk about Martin Luther King Day, how much we respect MLK's legacy, and we're talking about how great MLK was, how great he was. Meanwhile, here's $80 billion to neo-Nazis in Ukraine because Russia bad. And then meanwhile, did I ever mention all the black and brown people that are in prison today still for nonviolent drug offenses and in there for stupid petty things that they shouldn't even be in prison for? And me, as the creator of the Pogo Islands, my fictional country, that I actually believe in being tough on actual crime, like, the people that I believe that should be in prison are people that actually, if it has a victim, make it a crime and put them in prison, make them serve their time, pay their debt to society. Some should never be released from prison ever again a day in their life. 100%. That's my creation of the Pogo Islands, 100%. You, my fans on there, you all know about that, right? But here's the reality. Those people that are in there are people that have a victim and doing drugs and everything else. That isn't something that should be criminal because that doesn't have a victim. Those people need help, and that's the reality.
Amazing you guys are against. So what we do at RBN, Revolutionary Blackout, we try to take our politics back to where our revolutionary leaders was. with people who were anti-Catholic, the Socialists, the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton, MLK, Malcolm X. These people was not Western chauvinists. They did not cheer for war. MLK was hated by the vast majority of white America because he spoke out against the Vietnam War.
Once he spoke out against the Vietnam War, that's when the Democrats all turned on him, and that's when they wanted to get the ball rolling on it. All because of that. All because of that. All because he was anti-war. So you see how dangerous it can be to be an anti-war activist. You know, you're putting your life on the line just even being an anti-war activist, because you see what happens. And me as an anti-war activist myself, online and elsewhere, it's both on here on YouTube and it's elsewhere.
Meanwhile, we now governed by Black Congressional Caucus, who all for war against China, all for arming.
But there's Uyghurs in concentration camps. Oh my God, that big bad evil China's putting people in concentration camps. Okay, well, guess what? There's racial minorities that are put in prison here in the U.S. way more than China is, and I don't even believe China's even doing it, because I think the Uyghur Muslim genocide is a fucking hoax. I've always said that, and I stand by that position.
Nazis in Ukraine, MLK be rolling in his grave if you look at the black leaders that we have right now. So I implore the people in my community, I'm trying my best, let's abandon this scourge of neoliberalism. That's what I wrote about in my first op-ed in my Substack.
Neoliberalism is capitalism, and so is it neoconservatism. It's all capitalism. It's all capitalism. Capitalism ultimately leads to corporatism, and it's all a detriment to our economy. When you got private this, private that, it's for the profit. It's for the profit. Just like when you have private health care, that leads to the profit. That leads to for-profit health insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies, aka Big Pharma, profiting off of this and driving up the cost. Just like when you got things like, oh, you got like private this, private that. You don't have centralized garbage collection. Ramiro Sebastian Funes and the Flame of Liberation were talking about this. My comrades over there, they were talking about that. They're talking about how, well, sanitation and like that's what leads to poor sanitation in certain countries that are under capitalism and whatnot. Well, yeah, that explains the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi, and Flint, Michigan, and so forth. Why there's lead in water in fucking Chicago. Stuff like that. Because when you don't have a centralized water system or a centralized garbage collection and recycle, and proper food safety, aka something that I champion, well, see, I think everybody with half a brain should champion, because that's what it is. When you don't have that type of thing, it leads to disaster.
We need to reject the Barack Obamas, reject the Hakeem Jeffries, and embrace our revolutionary.
Hakeem Jeffries taking over for Nancy Pelosi. The world is so much better, just the way everything is. Just the way everything is. I think the way everything is totally great. Totally everything great. The world great. Everything, everything's so great, no matter everything.
Great roots. Reject the neoliberalism that we.
And Obama, aka the drone strike king.
We are faced with now.
Well, you would think that America electing a black man president twice would be the culmination of Martin Luther King's dream. It was not.
Absolutely
it was not.
Nope.
That was kabuki theater, because Barack Obama did not represent. Well, I don't know if I can say this because I'm white, but he didn't help out the black community. Blacks got poor under him.
That's why I'm loud. That's why I'm loud about it, because if you or anyone, I've seen it. Like whenever the white allies and comrades call out Barack Obama
like me
and Jim Clyburn, they call it racist. So the liberal mind, they can't handle it when Revolutionary Blackout, young black people are calling out Barack Obama, which you see more of. Barack Obama was a great win for the establishment in the short term, but I think he
did. He killed the anti-war movement because when Obama was in there, and even when Obama got the ball rolling on war with Libya, war with Syria, and sanctioning Venezuela and so forth. Oh no, the anti-war left just fucking fell asleep, and they fucking fell asleep. It's like they completely fell asleep. They had no idea. They were just completely. They just fell asleep. They were sleeping. It was like. Rockabye, anti-war left on the treetop. Obama's bombing in Pakistani weddings and Yemeni family gatherings. But Obama's anti-war, sure thing, little baby. Sure thing, little baby, of course he is. Because Obama's our Lord and Savior. I just woke up. What the fuck was that?
He's gonna be a long-term menace because he radicalized and turned a lot of young black people against the system. Like in polls, it showed that black Americans have the highest anti-capitalist sentiment, and I think that's because of people like Barack Obama who betrayed us.
That's 100% right. That sums it up perfectly, completely and totally true. 100%, Comrade Nicholas, 100%. Comrade Nick, well, we got Nicholas Blythe on this channel, and also Comrade Nick over at RBN. Jimmy Dore's a comrade. Everyone at the Gray Zone and Mint Press, all comrades. We together as anti-capitalist, anti-war comrades stand together to make our world a better place, because we must continue, as we always say, to keep fighting. That's about it for now. Thank you to everybody who stopped by and listened to this video. Stay tuned for my stream tomorrow, Thursday, 6 p.m. I'm going to actually stream normal time tomorrow because Steven doesn't have work. I don't have work, and I don't plan on going anywhere tomorrow because it's going to be my day of relaxation before I go back to work. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more videos coming your way soon. This is Zach the Celtics guy saying thank you for watching. Credit to Nick from Revolutionary Blackout Network. Credit to Jimmy Dore. Credit to Tulsi Gabbard for calling out George Santos, and credit to everybody I mentioned in this video. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you all in the next one, including my stream tomorrow and more videos coming your way soon, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye for now. Take care. Have yourselves a great day, and keep fighting. Peace out.